Hey guys, what's up? I just thought I'd come on here and chat and maybe it'll make me feel a little better because I'm just having an emotional day. And I think it's pregnancy related because quite frankly everything I'm crying about is pretty ridiculous, but I've just been, not all day, just the last probably hour or so, I just keep crying, and it's why am I crying? But I thought coming on here and talking about it might make me feel better. So what I'm doing right now, and why I'm not looking directly at you, because I'm on the computer, and I am creating my registry for the second time with Bye Bye Baby. And it's dumb that I'm taking this so seriously because this is a trash registry, to be completely honest with you. Bye Bye Baby is nowhere near where I live. There is one close to my husband's work, but it's almost an hour away from us. So the chances of anybody going there shopping for me from Bye Bye Baby off this registry is slim to none. I don't even intend to share it or tell anybody that I have this registry. But I've made this registry because Bye Bye Baby has gift bags that you get when you make a registry. And I made a registry the other night, but I did it through my phone. And something went wrong. My registry didn't get saved. And anyway, my husband was gonna stop there tonight to pick up the gift bag, and I called, confirmed that they have them, because my Target, any Target really, they give out gift bags when you make a registry with them, which that's the registry I intend to share. I'm gonna make one with Target and with Walmart, which I already made one with Target. But even one with Target is not one I'm taking super seriously because Target tends to be a little more expensive than Walmart, though they have the stroller I want at Target for about $20 cheaper than Walmart, so I think we'll probably get it from Target. I feel like I have a hard time breathing. And your organs getting shoved everywhere and changed. Makes breathing difficult. Yay, pregnancy. But my Target was out of the gift bags. I went there yesterday to pick up a gift bag because part of it is I want the gift bags because I want the stuff in them because babies are expensive, and so anywhere you can get free diapers, free bottles, coupons for more baby stuff is great, especially if you don't have to pay for it. Because if you look online, there's tons of these unboxings of free baby stuff, but then when you get to looking at it, it's oh, I had to pay $5 in shipping, and it's that doesn't really make it free, especially if you're just getting junk items. And so I wanted to do a whole video and show you guys what I actually got for free, and then also spend the money to get the other stuff to show you guys what you can get, but you have to pay the money for. Though I'm kind of debating on that because quite frankly it's not the most economical. There's this one site, I think it's called Abby and Finn, I want to say. They do diapers kind of like the Honest Company, where they're more organic. And if you pay $5 in shipping and handling, they'll send you a pack of 8 diapers and some wipes. Which I guess if you buy Pampers or Huggies, then maybe that's a good deal. But I buy a Parent's Choice, and so it's that doesn't really even out for me. I could take that $10 and go actually buy a box of diapers versus getting a sample of organic diapers. This isn't really, beneficial to me. So I'm kind of do I really want to? But those diapers are really cute, so I don't know. I'm torn. I can't breathe, you guys. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys just went for a ride and fell off my computer. But I feel my diaphragm is being compressed, and it's making me breathing hard. Plus I've been crying. That's probably not been helpful either. Reattach yourself. I thought I just broke my camera just now, to be honest with you. I did not realize that the flip out screen flipped back that far. Apparently it does, or it does now. But it seems to still be working, so we're good. I'm not overly worried about it. I kind of want to get a replacement camera this year anyways. This one's getting old. It's about 4 years old now. I mean, I still like it, but But like with YouTube and stuff, I kind of want to upgrade to the newer model. I'm like looking at it. It's a Canon HD, whatever. It's the number 6 model. They're up to like number 8 now, possibly going into number 9, because last time I looked at that was like 6 months ago. I'm kind of thinking if I upgrade this year, like, here's the thing with YouTube, is like you are a more or less like an independent contractor. So like they pay you, but they don't take your taxes out. You have to do that at tax time. And so it's kind of like running a business. And if you can have deductions, which goes towards you not owing anything with your taxes. This year, I think the only deductible that I have is for like a $10 planner. So, and I've made, in total, I've made around $1,000 this year, maybe a little over. So I'm sure I'll end up owing something. Last year, I didn't owe anything. I made about $600 last year, and I had my ring light as a deductible, and that was like $200, I think, was my ring light. So roughly somewhere in there. So like with the deductible from the ring light, I didn't end up owing anything, because it's like, at least in my state, I don't know how if it is nationwide. I know for the state of Indiana, you can make up to like $400 before you owe taxes. And so I made 6. So last year I would owe taxes, except I had the $200 in ring light deductible, and so I didn't end up owing anything on YouTube. But this year I've made almost $1,000, and I have like a $10 deductible. So, well, we're talking for 2018. It's now 2019. We're like 3 days in. So there's not even a way to fix that, you know. But the camera I use is just a camcorder, because like I don't feel like I need a fancy like camera for taking pictures, because I'm filming videos, I'm not taking pictures. But my camera normally runs, I want to say around the $200 mark. We'll round up to 3, just for talking's sake. But at Christmas time, they like run a big special on them, and I think my mom got me this one for like maybe $250. I think around the $200 mark. I want to say it was like around $190 at Christmas when she got it like 4 years ago. And I've noticed they run the special on them every year around Christmas, like for Black Friday. So I kind of want to save with the money, and then at Black Friday buy myself a new camera. Get a newer model. Again, not that there's anything wrong with this one. I just think that like and this one films in HD, but I feel like the quality would probably be better on a newer one. Because when I got this one a couple years ago, I thought my quality was on par with like everybody else. And then I've noticed, like when I watch my videos back, I feel like they're not looking as clear as other people's. I don't know. But also, this camera's still in great shape. It works, and I'm thinking right now, like, it still has the resale value. So, like, I could buy the new camera, use it as a tax write-off for next year towards my business for YouTube. And then, because, like, if I gotta pay out money, you know, like, I could either give the government, like, $400 in back taxes, or I could go spend, like, $400 on my business and use it as a write-off and not owe back taxes. You know, like, that's kind of where it's at. And it just didn't work out this year. I probably should have made it happen, but we'll see if we don't get kicked in the ass this year or not. We'll see. So I'm kind of thinking this year we probably need to buy more stuff for YouTube. So I'll need another planner. I'm thinking update the camera, and I don't know what else I could possibly buy. I mean, I wouldn't mind some more lights. However, I don't know where I'm going to store them. So I'm kind of running out of storage for places. Anyway, how did we even get on this subject? I don't know. But I'm working on my Bye Bye Baby registry. And, like, really, and it probably sounds kind of silly. Might even sound kind of desperate. But, like, the biggest reason I'm doing this registry for the gift bag is for the formula coupons. Because I seen somebody do the unboxing for Bye Bye Baby, and they got formula coupons for Infamil, which is what I prefer to use when, baby is like newborn. Like I'd say at least like the first month, if not up to the first 4 months. just because I feel like it dissolves better. And I'm thinking about doing a whole like formula review, because with my son, he was able to like use any kind of formula. It didn't matter. It all went down. It all stayed. So I'm kind of thinking about doing a formula review. But in my experience, Infamel dissolves the best. Because I do remember, like, I used the Walmart and the Meijer brand formulas that are like compared to Infamel, compared to Similac, and you had to like get a fork in there and fluff that shit up. Like, it just did not it didn't dissolve like it should have. And I also noticed that with Similac a lot of times, like, it just wouldn't dissolve like it should, and then like there'd be like a glob of formula like stuck at the top of the nipple, and like you'd have to like clean that out, and it was a pain. But I never had that problem with Similac. Similac seems to be like a much finer granule, and they just dissolve better. However, Similac tends to be more expensive, probably because it's probably a little bit of a better quality, to be honest. And I never really used Gerber much. Gerber is so expensive, like so expensive, that I never bought Gerber. I had some sample Gerber. I had some Gerber samples. That's the other thing today. My dyslexia has been off the chart. I'm just struggling with life today when it comes to flipping shit around. We'll get into that in a moment, but like, it's been a struggle today. What else? Like I said, I'm taking this baby registry way too seriously, and it's like a trash registry. I'm not even using it. I could put anything on here, it wouldn't matter. And yet I'm like, I want to pick out like exactly what I want, because there are some things that we need. But like, again, I'm probably not going to buy them from here. Like the double car seat I mentioned that Target had cheaper than Walmart, Bye Baby also has, and it's probably $20 more expensive than Walmart. So like, I'm not going to buy it there, you know. High chairs. I do need to look at high chairs. And a lot of the stuff I plan on buying secondhand, like swings. We need a swing, but I'm buying one secondhand from a friend for 40 bucks. And then high chairs, I want one like what my son has. They go about 50 bucks brand new, which his was gifted to us. However, I've seen them like posted on the Facebook Marketplace for like $10 to $20, and I need to get another bouncer. You can get those secondhand for $10. The one I have now, I think I paid $10, and that worked fine. It still works, but I'd like to get a second one for like this side of the house, so that like if I have to go to the bathroom or something, like I don't want to leave the baby in the living room with my toddler. So I can put up the baby gate and put the baby in the bouncy seat here in the kitchen while I go to the bathroom, and the toddler can be on the other side of the baby gate. So I'm kind of thinking having a bouncer in both places would be nice. Just convenience. Like, I don't have to have it. Like, I could make do with the bouncer that we have and just haul it around. But I just think it'd be more convenient. And I know I can get them for like 10 bucks. So it's like, you know, why would I buy it full price when I can get it secondhand? You know, that's just how I think about it with this stuff. Because it all has a bit of a resale value. Like, you'll start to notice, like, for example, the Fisher Price swing that I'm buying for my friend, I had the exact same swing with my friend. I had the exact same swing with my son, and I think my mom paid around $100. No, I think she paid around $230 for it brand new at Walmart. It's very popular. They get new models in almost every year, like a new style of swing, but it's like the exact same swing. But like, my son's was brown teddy bears with birds, and then my friend, the one that she's selling me, was like all gray and white, I think with stars. And then I've seen other ones where they're all birds or foxes or what have you. It's a very popular swing, but they get like a new style to it every year. But otherwise, exact same swing. And they always sell for like, I don't know, $230, I think, in store. But the resale value on them things is about 50 bucks. Like, every time I see one of these swings being resold, it's for about 50 bucks. And then the one that I had for my son, which I wish I would have kept. I kept a lot of baby stuff. There's the one I'm looking for. Yep, $49.99 for that Fisher Price Space Saver high chair. Add to cart. Or no, not cart. I need to add to registry. Anyway, yeah. I wish I would have kept that swing because it worked. There was nothing wrong with it. But at the time, I was like, I'm done making babies. One and done. Like, I don't want any more. And I sold it because I was like, I'm not saving this thing. I'm like, this thing's huge. I have no place to store it. I'm just going to sell it. Everything else I kept because I was kind of like back and forth. But the swing I sold. There's a few things I got rid of that I wish I hadn't. And so anyway, yeah, I sold my swing for like 50 bucks because I tried to sell it for like 100, and then I noticed nobody was interested in it. And even though mine was like only used for like 6 months, I think, and then my son outgrew it, 6 to 8, something like that. And I thought somebody will definitely like snatch this up real quick because they're so expensive. And mine was barely used, like 8 months worth of use, and it's clean, smoke free, you know, all that stuff. And so I got online just to like double check the pricing. I feel like I have like a pimple coming up right here and it's bugging me, so I keep touching it because that makes things better. So anyways, I got online to like double check the pricing, and I seen that my exact same swing that I was selling for $100, Walmart had clearanced for 75 bucks because they got in the new style in. So that's kind of what happens, is like they sell them for like $230, clearance them out at 75 bucks, and the resale value is like $50. And same thing goes for these high chairs. They're selling for 50 bucks. Resale value about 10, 15 to 20, somewhere in there. So, and that's just like the stuff I have now, like 3 years old. They're still making it, just different styles. Resale value is the same. So like there's no point in paying full price for this stuff when I know that I'll use it for 8 months to a year and then I can sell it for top dollar. You know, like for example, I'm buying the swing off my friend for 40. I can resell it for 40 to 50. I can remake what I pay on it. Same with the high chair. If I buy it for 15 to 20, I can resell it for 15 to 20 as long as I keep it in good condition. Like, so I just don't see the point in half of this stuff, other than, again, for like anybody who wants to give us a gift for the baby, which is fine. But Bye Bye Baby, for one, is not around here, and two, it is like so expensive. I would feel bad if anybody bought us anything off of here, because it's like, you know, I mean, granted, the car seat, or not the car seat, the high chair I'm looking at is comparable across the board. They've all been about 50 bucks. This one's $49.99. I seen it at Target for like 50 and change. Walmart's same area. Excuse me. So anyway, that happened with the baby registry disappearing. I think I told you that, didn't I? Like, I'm having to remake it because the first time I made it on my phone, and I don't know what happened, but I can't find it. It's not in their system. So I had to remake another one, take pictures of the registry ID and like all of that information, and I logged out and logged back in, and everything seems okay this time. Which is the mistake I guess I made last time, because I went as far, where's bottles at? Yeah, I got on there, made the registry, and then added everything to my registry, and that was it. And so this time I like double checked that the registry was still there, because when you go into Bye Bye Baby, they're gonna ask for like your registry information. Same with Target, because I just called to make sure that the Bye Bye Baby near my husband's work has the gift bags in, because my Target is currently out of the gift bags. So that means that if my Target doesn't get the gift bags back in soon, I'm gonna have to call the 2 Targets by my husband's work and have him go pick it up, which he's not gonna be too happy about, because they recently put in a bypass and made things super easy to get to. Not really. I hope you note the sarcasm, but it's, unless like when you're cutting through Carmel, Indiana, like unless you're actually already in Carmel, it is such a pain in the ass to get to anything. Like, it used to be you'd be driving down 31 cutting through Carmel, and you could just like hop off to Target, hop off to McDonald's, hop off to Walmart, no problem. Now you're on this dang bypass, everything's below you. You have to take exits, and they have like a billion roundabouts. This place just like loves roundabouts. Oh my gosh, I hate roundabouts. But this place is like you'll roundabout into another roundabout, into another roundabout, into a roundabout, and then you get where you're going. Like, it's insane. I don't know who is planning this shit, but I think that they are smoking weed and eating mushrooms, because it's like crazy down there. So again, why am I taking this so seriously? Just grab some freaking bottles and throw them in a cart, because like ain't nobody shopping off this thing, seriously. I don't even know if I have to go this far as to add things to the registry, because like I think he just has to go in there and give them the information, and then they give him the gift bag, and that's it, and then we're done. But yeah, what I was getting at is like why I want this so bad is because of the formula coupons. I feel like I'm talking in circles. It seems to happen more when I'm having like really bad dyslexia days. I just can't keep myself focused, and I'm like everywhere. I can't hold anything in my head. Sometimes I feel like talking about having dyslexia, and then like if you think about, what is it? Is it ADD or ADHD? I think it's ADD. because I definitely don't have like a hyperactive, but I do struggle with like staying focused. And sometimes I feel like when I talk about having dyslexia, like I've never talked about having dyslexia on here. I've made dyslexia jokes, and I always, I think, tend to throw out the comment that I have dyslexia. And I feel like it's okay when you have the disability. It's okay to joke about the disability. Like, I'm not just making fun of dyslexic. I am a dyslexic. So like, I'm speaking from experience. Where's my part? So I don't know what I'm doing. My brain just doesn't work today. It doesn't work today. So yeah, like I feel like I can't stay focused on anything. I feel like I get off track. I feel like I'm just jumping everywhere. And I'm flipping everything around, mixing everything up. Like, I had to call to make my hospital payment from having my son, and according to my records, we're down to owing like $3,200 some dollars. But I asked the lady, you know, what's my statement at? And she said 3,600 something. And it's frustrating because with the hospital, I'm on their old billing system. And so the people who take my payment can't give me a confirmation number. It all goes to register. They used to send me out a receipt, but they've quit doing that. And like for like nearly the past year, like I have confirmation numbers up until March of 2018. And in March was the first time they told me they couldn't give me a confirmation number and I had to go to register. And they said it's because it was the old system. And so after that, like sometimes I call and it depends on who I talk to, but some people would tell me they couldn't even give me a statement on my bill. But I always kept track of everything and had it all written down. And so now there's like what, like $400 or $500 just missing that I'm like, to my knowledge, I paid. And I don't know how to track this. Like, I don't know. I don't have, like, I have it written down when I called in and made the payment, what card I used to make the payment, and how much I paid. But, like, I don't have any confirmation numbers for anything. And so I had my husband call. We have, like, a medical savings account through his job. And so I had him call and, not call, I had him get on the account and print off a whole list of, like, everything that we've paid for the past year. And then I know like there's been 2 times I've made payments out of our actual bank account. And so I'm going to have to pour over everything from this bank statement that he's bringing home, and then add in what I did from our other bank account. And then I'm going to have to see, like, is this a fuck up on my part or is it on theirs? Because I don't trust myself with math. And like I even told the lady, I was like, yeah, what you're telling me doesn't add up with what I have in my records. And then she started like rambling off 1,000 numbers to me. Because she was like, oh, right now you owe, like, instead of saying, like, 6,000, like, doing it in blocks. Like, you owe 6,000, not 6,000, you owe 3,600, whatever. She was just like, 36, whatever the numbers are, and you paid 115, and then your last payment was 115, and so you used to owe 300 and 700, 3,700. Like, I can't keep the numbers in my head. Like, on a good day, I can't keep numbers like that in my head. Like, you gotta talk to me like I'm stupid and go slow when it comes to math. And I have to write it all down. I was trying to write it down, but she was going so fast, I couldn't, like, process what she was telling me, and I couldn't keep things straight. And I feel like if she had told me, like, 3,000, like, I'd have been able to hold it better. But, like, in my head, when somebody's just, like, rambling off a bunch of big numbers, like, my brain wants to put some zeros in there. Like, I know that sounds like really confusing, but like when you say like $3,600, okay, that's like 3600. But like when you say 300 and what was it, 36, whatever, like in my brain I wanted to put like 3006 numbers, like, and then 6 in the numbers, and like I couldn't process it, and I got really frustrated. And so I just said, okay, thank you, and hung up the phone, and then I cried because I felt stupid. Like, I feel like I shouldn't struggle like that, but I do. And it's aggravating. It just makes me feel like I'm so stupid. And I don't like feeling stupid. But it's something I've struggled with my entire life. Like I got diagnosed when I was in like 2nd grade. And they said that I didn't have the worst form of dyslexia. I was like somewhere in the middle, because they described it almost like a ripple in the water, you know, like you throw a stone in and it like ripples out, and like the epicenter being like the worst you can be, and then it's like rings coming out. And you have like your borderline dyslexic, which is like your most outermost ring, and I'm somewhere in the middle, where like I'm not the worst, but like I'm not borderline. And it's, you know, when they talk about dyslexia in school, they make it sound like, oh, you have problems with reading, and like you'll flip your numbers in your letters, and like that's it. Like that's how they make it sound. But like they don't tell you that you have good days and bad days. Like I have some days where like I'm fine and I hardly have an issue, and then I have other days today where like I can't hold numbers in my head, I can't keep my thoughts straight, I can't function. Like I just feel stupid and I can't keep anything straight, and I flip everything around. And then I have other days where like I'm nearly fine and I don't really have that problem. That's something they don't tell you. And then like the focusing, like they kind of touch on it. Like I when I talk about when they tell you about dyslexia in school, I'm talking about like your normal classes. I'm not talking about like when they are diagnosing you with dyslexia and explaining it. They don't really, I mean, they kind of just brief over it. I mean, granted, I was in like 2nd grade, so I don't really remember a ton, but when you enter the remedial classes, like they offer you a lot more help, and like they will read things to you to help you with comprehension, or like reading things out loud. I need to find my camera battery charger. Okay, I had to move you guys closer to the outlet, so a little change of scenery, I guess. Not really, but yeah, there's just like a lot that in like the general classes, when they kind of go over learning disabilities, like this, they don't really tell you about, I guess. And it goes so much deeper than like, oh, you flip your numbers in your letters. Like it goes deeper than that, and you have days that are worse than others. Like some days it hardly bothers me, and then other days like I can't process what's being said to me. Like I really struggle. And there are days when like my husband's talking to me and like I can't focus on him and what he's saying, like to save my life, and I have to tell him like, I'm sorry, I'm struggling, can you repeat yourself? Like I want to know what you're telling me, like I just can't focus, like I'm really struggling to stay focused. And it's a pain. It's a pain, it's a pain, it's a pain. And the best way I found to deal with it through the years is just to like laugh it off and laugh about it and make a joke about it. Like, I'm having a dyslexic moment, you know? Like, but it is something that has like affected me my entire life, pretty much. And definitely in all aspects of my academic career. And it's the big reason why I couldn't get through college. Because what I've noticed with my dyslexia is like I typically have to take a class and fail it, and then I can take the class again and I'll get like a B typically. And college doesn't like that. High school doesn't like that either, but like they're not going to kick you out over it, you know? But college will. And it just, you know, it's frustrating. I've got like 5 minutes left on this SD card, so let me switch out to something not so full. Okay, new memory card is in. So yeah. And I feel like I've never even told you guys the whole reason I wanted what was in the gift bag for this whole friggin' registry. It's because of the formula coupons. I still feel like I can't breathe. Because, okay, so they will give you formula coupons. Target also gives formula coupons, or at least they did in the last registry gift bag that I got from them with my son. I watched some recent unboxings for the Bye Bye Baby registry, and they had coupons on it for formula. So you can sign up with the formula companies to get free formula samples. And then after that, Similac and Enfamil is really good about it, will continue to send you coupons for formula. And you can double those coupons with store coupons. So like, for example, if you have a Meijer in your area and you are formula feeding, I highly recommend using Meijer to buy the formula. I know that Parents' Choice can be cheaper. However, if you buy like the actual name brand formula from Meijer, Meijer will almost always spit you out another coupon for more formula of that brand typically. And then you can double that with the formula coupon you get from the formula company. And typically you can get your formula for cheaper than like Parents' Choice or like the Meijer brand. Not always, but typically. And it kind of works out to being well worth it to go to Meijer. And so the same thing with this Bye Bye Baby and with Target is that with your gift bag registry, you get formula coupons. And so my goal with those formula coupons is to hang on to them until we start getting the coupons from the like Enfamil and Similac and stuff, and then going back to the store and doubling the coupons to get more money off the formula, because formula is like hella expensive and you're gonna buy it for like a freaking year. My kid was on it for like a year and 2 months because I tried putting him on cow's milk after a year and it really upset his stomach, so we went like another 2 months, then tried it again, and then he was fine and now he's cool with it. But yeah, I am already starting to stock up on formula. Like, I'm kind of debating after my kiddo gets up from his nap, heading to Target and picking up this can of Gerber that was on clearance yesterday for like 20 bucks. I don't exactly know why it was on clearance because it's unopened and the expiration date has like another year on it. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's why, because typically when you buy formula, it has like a 2-year expiration date. And this formula is down to having like almost exactly a year on it. It expires March 2020. But we would use it well before then. But I'm already stocking up on formula because it's so expensive, for one. For two, my milk never came in with my son. And I feel like that's going to happen again. I feel like I'm not going to have any milk come in with this baby. Like, I pumped for like 2 weeks with my son. And I think the most I ever made was like an ounce after pumping from both breasts for an hour by hand. I had a handheld pump. And that's the most I ever made. It happened one time. My normal was probably like about 5 milliliters or less. Let me show you. So this is a 5 milliliter syringe that I want to say came with my Mandela pump from the hospital. They gave you like a handheld pump. Yeah, that was my typical, if I was lucky to even make that much, because I would like pump into like this bottle and then we have to like suck it up into a syringe and then inject it in his mouth. And we did that for 2 weeks, and that was like his little appetizer before he got a bottle, because that was not enough to fill him up. And again, I didn't always make this much. Sometimes it was less than that. It was like, how many drops can we get out of here? And at his 2-week checkup, my pediatrician asked, you know, if I was bottle feeding or nursing, and I told him I was pumping and, you know, how much I was giving him. And he was like, oh, like, if you're not enjoying doing that, you can quit, because like you're not really doing anything. You're not really benefiting him. Gee, thanks. So I kind of feel like it's gonna happen like that again. My boobs are doing the same thing they did last time, and I could be wrong, which would be fine by me because breast milk is so much cheaper than formula. However, I just don't think that I'm gonna produce anything. Like, I was eating a lot of oatmeal, drinking lots of water, like doing everything that they tell you to do, but like it just never came in, which kind of runs in the family. I've got cousins who have had problems. I've got aunts who have had problems. My mom had problems. And to my understanding, my grandma wasn't able to nurse. She had 5 kids and wasn't able to nurse any of them, to my understanding. So, like, I kind of went into having my first kid with the expectation of not being able to nurse. Kind of like, if it works out, great. But if it doesn't work, like, that's okay too. You know, like, I was kind of up in the air about the whole thing. And that's kind of how I'm doing it with this one. Like, if my milk comes in and it's there, fantastic, I will use it. But I'm not betting on it. Like, I'm not making plans. You know, like, I don't want to get caught in the dark. Like, formula's so dang expensive. I'm like, stock up now. Start buying it now. Keeping the receipts on the off chance that my milk does come in and we don't need it, but I'm betting we're gonna need it. So yeah, that's just kind of what's going on right now. I'm also feeling kind of emotional because, like, I'm like from disappointment. Like, I felt so stupid with the whole doctor bill thing, and now I gotta figure out like what went wrong there. And then with this registry disappearing, kind of aggravated because, again, this is like a throwaway registry. Like, it's aggravating. I have to do this again. And then I'm also like still feeling disappointed from yesterday's doctor's appointment, and I keep telling myself like I shouldn't be disappointed because, like, we had our anatomy scan and, like, everything with the baby is perfectly healthy. Like, I have nothing to be disappointed about, and yet, excuse me, I'm feeling disappointed because they weren't able to tell us the gender, because the baby was like in the fetal position, had like its feet crossed over its bottom, and they couldn't see anything. And they had me go to the bathroom, empty my bladder. Like, while I was in the bathroom, I jumped around, poked my belly. I was like, move. Went back in. They scanned me again. Baby was in the exact same position, would not move. And so we have to go back in another month. They could have brought me in sooner. However, they're having troubles, like, deciding on a due date for me. They've got it narrowed down between the 20th and the 25th. And I don't know exactly why this is such a struggle. I think it really comes down to, like, me not knowing when my last cycle was. It's kind of messing everything up. Because when we started trying for this baby, like, we expected it to take a while. Because it took, like, 11 months with my son. We figured, sounds like my kiddo's up, if he ever even took a nap, which he needed to take a nap because he was turning into a grumpers. But I had to go back in there and put him down twice. And he got quiet, so I thought maybe he went down, but he's in there throwing things at his door right now, so not down. So, yeah, like, originally they were guessing me at, like, having a May 13th due date. And then at my first ultrasound, they were going around like the 20th. And now from this ultrasound, they're like, oh, maybe you're closer to the 25th. And because, like, we're jumping around so much, like, we want to, like, do one more ultrasound to, like, double check the growth. They're like, you're growing fine. Like, not you, me, the baby. Like, everything's growing fine, everything's healthy. But they're like, you know, we're having struggles on our end. Like, the baby's healthy, don't worry. But we want to scan you one more time with another growth check just to, like, be for sure on the due date. Which, personally, I feel like the whole thing is a little, like, I don't know. I don't know, like, maybe they're overcomplicating it. I'm not a doctor. But the way I look at it is, like, 37 weeks is considered full term. Anywhere between 37 and 40 weeks, you can go into labor. And they were going to take me in for a C-section at 38 weeks. And so my thoughts is like, well, if you're guessing me at being at 38 weeks at around the 25 week mark, then, like, pick something between 20 and 25 and call it a day. Like, I don't know where the struggle is coming into play. So, I don't know. But, you know, like, I'm not a doctor. So, and I get, like, the longer the baby is in utero, the better. Well, for a while. After you hit the 40 week mark, you hit into 41 weeks, go 42 weeks, things start getting dangerous that direction. But as long as we're hitting it between, like, the 37 and 40 week mark, I'm like, what's the problem? Granted, they also don't want me going into labor on my own, because then it takes what would just be like a routine second C-section and makes it into an emergency C-section if I go into labor. So it's a little aggravating. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. I show up at my appointments. That's pretty much what's going on. So, but yeah, like, I was kind of disappointed that they weren't able to tell us the gender. Which, again, is, like, should be, like, the least of our worries. You know, like, I was just excited to find out, because then I can start baby shopping. Because, like, if it's a girl, like, we need, like, all the clothes. We need all the baby clothes. And if it's a boy, like, I need to wash all of my son's clothes and see, like, okay, what do we need to buy? Because I got rid of, like, most of his newborn stuff. Which, when it comes to newborn clothes, like, You don't need a ton of them anyways, you know, just like a week or two's worth, because they'll probably only wear it for like a month if you're lucky. So getting enough for like 2 weeks and then washing it until they grow out of it is like more than enough. But I just was looking forward to finding out, and I think my husband was disappointed too. And it was kind of odd. My doctor seemed surprised that I handled not finding out as well as I did, because she said that oftentimes when they can't tell them the gender, the people come into the appointment after the ultrasound and they're like crying, and they're like, oh, I have like a gender reveal party planned, and like they're really, really upset. And then she was also surprised when I was like, well, just do my gender scan, you know, when you do the growth scan, because she's like, well, we'll have to do another growth scan in 4 weeks, but if you want to come back sooner to find out the gender, you can. But my thoughts was like, with my insurance, like, is my insurance going to cover all these ultrasounds? Like, I already owe like $250 for my first ultrasound, because last year's insurance only paid for like 150 of it. Like, why do we even have insurance? What's the point? And so yeah, I've got like that bill sitting around, and this year we're on a different insurance plan that's supposed to be better, so hopefully it pays for more, but who knows. And because they don't give you any freaking item, you can't call in with like an itemized amount. I mean, I guess I could probably call in and be like, do you cover this stuff? But the way I look at it is like, I have to have the growth scan. It has to happen in 4 weeks to find out a due date. So save the insurance and just have the gender scan at the same time, versus going in for a gender scan and then going in again for a growth scan. But it is disappointing. I have to wait a whole another month pretty much, because it's like the 3rd right now, and we won't have the gender scan until the 28th. But hopefully baby will cooperate and we'll find out the gender, because I don't know if we'll be able to do another gender scan. Like, assuming everything goes well with this next ultrasound and they're able to tell us a due date, then there would be no other reason for any more ultrasounds really other than for gender. And so I would have to call the insurance company and be like, hey, will you guys pay for this? And if they say they won't pay for it, quite frankly, I might just look into going to Lafayette, which is like an hour away, but there's a place over there that does 3D ultrasounds for like $60 out of pocket. And it's like, well, might as well go over there, spend the 60, get a 3D ultrasound with some good pictures for the baby book and find out the gender that way, versus $200 for freaking ultrasound from the doctor's appointment where I get shitty pictures like this. Because like, you can't hardly make anything out from that. And it's aggravating because every freaking ultrasound this time, I've only had 2, but so far they've all been really crappy pictures like this. Like, you can't hardly see, and it's the baby's face. You can hardly see anything. Like, I know what I'm looking at, but like, you have to like explain it, you know? You have to be like, oh, that's the head, and there's one random eyeball, and here's like the nose holes and the bones. And like, with my son, they gave us really good ultrasound pictures at the exact same doctor's office from the very first. I got my first ultrasound with him at 10 weeks, and we got a really good clear picture of him. Little peanut, you can see he had a high forehead like his dad. And then at his 20-week scan, we got like a really good profile picture of his face. Just really good pictures. And these ones have all been crap, and I'm like, what is the problem? Like, I don't know. It's aggravating. And like, I felt like today, not today, I felt like yesterday at the ultrasound, like I felt like the technician that we had didn't want to be there. And like, I get it. I understand everybody has bad days at work, but like, I'm paying a lot of money to be here, you know, like, and I understand that like the doctor I go to also gets a lot of people from like Medicaid, and those folks aren't, you know, paying out of pocket. Like, they're, you know, on government assistance, and I'm not knocking anybody who's on government assistance. However, when you have a lot of people coming in who aren't paying for their own insurance, like, I can understand where like they maybe don't take things as, I don't want to say as seriously, but like when it comes to the ultrasounds, they're like, okay, check and make sure everything's good. Okay, we're good, you know, like, not worrying about good pictures and stuff. But it's like, I'm paying out of pocket. Like, I'm paying $200 at least, you know, like, at least compared to my last ultrasound. Like, I'm paying to be here, and I feel like I should get my money's worth, you know. So yeah, it's just the whole thing. It's just kind of like a frustrating, I feel down kind of a day. And like my impulse right now that my son's up, is like I want to run to Target. I want to buy that formula, which honestly isn't a horrible idea. And then like I want to look through their baby clothes because they had some really cute stuff on clearance. And I bought baby stuff yesterday. I bought like a newborn girl sleeper, which is adorable. It looks gender neutral until you see the ruffles on the butt. It has a hat that comes with it with a bow. If they hadn't put the ruffles on the butt, it could be gender neutral and I could take the bow off the hat, but there's ruffles on the butt. But that one was clearance down to like $2. I think I paid $3 after taxes. And then they had some gender neutral sleepers, which were really cute, and they had like the little fold over mittens on the hands, which are nice. So I bought those. But they had some other stuff. Like they had a little outfit that said like new to the crew, and it's gray with like black lettering, and then the pants I think were like black with clouds maybe, or they're black with something. Like it could be gender neutral. Like I think it's gearing more towards boys. It's definitely like in the boys section, but it could go either way. Like just like a black bow to stick on her hair if it's a girl. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings about buying clothes when I don't know what the gender is, you know, even if I don't know. And I just feel like there's so many other things that we need to buy. Like if I'm going to buy baby stuff, I should be finding a bouncer on the garage sale site, or I should be finding somebody with the not car seat, the high chair that I need. Or like I need to take out $40 so I can buy that swing next week, which I can't buy the swing today. I was supposed to buy the swing today. Can't buy the swing today because the girl I was buying it off of, she was pregnant, wasn't due for like another 4 weeks, and went into labor last night. And now they're in the NICU. But it sounds like everything's going really well and they should get to go home within another day or two. So she said that I can buy the swing next week probably. Which I got a hold of her and I was like, hey, my reminder went off on the phone for the swing. Like, I'm sure you're not feeling up to it today. Do you want to get a hold of me in a week or two and let me know? Because I got time. Like, the baby's not due till May. But I should probably still, if I'm going to take any money out of pay, because we got paid today, if I'm going to take any money out, like I should take $40 out and set it aside to buy the swing, because that's a need. Like, we need that. And we need the clothes too, but like, everything that's on clearance right now is the winter stuff. Which sleepers, long sleeve, footy sleepers, they're great year round. They're not like they're the fuzzy ones. They're like the cotton breathable ones. But the clothes are all long sleeve. I'm due in May. It starts getting hot here around July. So like they might get to wear what I bought. However, we're having like an extremely mild winter this year. So like who knows when summer is going to show up. Could be sooner rather than later. Or winter might decide to show up in April like it did last year. It was a pretty mild winter last year. And we thought all the snow was gone. And then like the first week or two of April we had snow. So and it didn't really get hot here last year until like the end of July, close to August. So who knows, like the stuff I buy now that's wintry, like this long sleeve, could work just fine, or it might be a total waste of money. But like I just want to go shopping. I just want to go spend money and shop, and that's because I feel bad. And that's not good. That's something that I need to fix within myself, of finding other ways to comfort myself when I'm disappointed or feeling sad. Pretty much. So what else? I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you guys about that I mentioned doubling back to, and then I didn't, and now I don't remember what it was. So I think we'll just end things here because I feel better. Thank you for being my therapist and letting me dump all of my emotional baggage on you. I think I'm about done with this registry. I've just been adding like random crap. Like, again, not probably gonna buy anything off of here. So I think I'm gonna call it quits on here and call it quits on the video and go get my kiddo up, and I will talk to you guys later.